Hattie and I am back for part 2 of Vixella's home. So this is going to be the whole of the interior for the video. Now I have been getting a lot of messages of people saying, Hattie, why don't you do the interiors for your houses? I do every single interior for my homes, I can absolutely promise you. I mean, usually I leave it a couple of days between when I share the first part and when I share the second part, because I like to give myself a little bit of a break, because it takes me quite a long time sometimes, and especially with this home probably took me about 6 or 7 hours just to do the outside. So I definitely needed a break for at least a couple of days, and then I can get back to it and yeah, get back to normal, get back to building. So that's what I've been doing. But I had a lot of fun decorating this house. I was really thinking about what Sasha would like in a home, and I really couldn't decide. It was between 2 mindsets because I was getting a lot of kind of input from everybody. Some people were saying you should make it super girly. Other people were saying you should make it really plain, white walls, no carpets, wood, just wood. Basically that was the general feel between every single comment. So I didn't put any carpets in this house whatsoever. I just put wood because I am also a humongous fan of the wood texturings that we get for The Sims 4. I really do feel like the good carpets just haven't arrived yet or something, because I am just not keen on the carpets that we have whatsoever. In fact, a lot of the time I like to use that strange kind of cork floor surface, if that's it. It's basically where it's not wood, it's not carpet. I mean, it kind of looks like carpet, but we have it in The Sims 4. I just don't know what it's called. But yeah, I use that sometimes, mainly in my old houses. Like if you go and look at some of those, then if I've got carpet in there, then it probably won't be carpet. It will probably be that cork thing that we get with The Sims 4. I don't know what it is. So anyway, this was the hallway. I was currently just putting in the cheats at this point because I forgot. Oops. I forgot to edit that bit out. But yeah, I was doing the hallway. The hallway I wanted to make really bright, really purpley, pinky, girly, anything really that was standing out to me I really did go with, because I like the colours that I used in here, and I was really trying to incorporate the new stuff pack that we got a couple of days ago. I really love that stuff pack, and it's one of my favourite things. So I thought, you know what a better excuse than to use it all on this build. And I probably did go a little bit too far out with it. I went very over the top with this build, I'm not even joking. So if you don't like the new stuff pack, then you're probably not going to like the interior of this house, because it's absolutely insane. I mean, the hallway is probably one of the least decorative rooms, I'm going to say. But I mean, in general, I was really thinking deeply about everything, and I was thinking, you know, what I'd have in the house. I actually wrote down some kind of bullet points of the general feedback that I had. People were also saying, you know, have like 1 bedroom and stuff, or like have a couple of bedrooms. So I did actually end up with 3 bedrooms, but I would have ended up with like 4 or 5 being for this house if I hadn't have obviously had the general input, because it's a humongous house to fill up. I did actually go with 3 bedrooms, and I had 2 electronic rooms, or 3 electronic rooms. Yeah, 3 electronic rooms. The reason I had 3 bedrooms is because I wanted 1 for Sasha, 1 for a dog, and 1 for like a guest room. Basically, that was what I was thinking. So that is what I went with. But this was the lounge. The lounge is absolutely humongous. But I mean, who wouldn't wish they had a TV like that? Seriously, you give me one person that doesn't want that TV, because, I mean, apart from technophobes, but you know, that's kind of out the question here. But I love those TVs so much. So we get the humongous ones with the new stuff pack, and they look amazing on. In fact, I spent probably a good 10 minutes, I'm gonna say, just watching the screen through a screen. Could go on really, couldn't it? It could go on, because it could be somebody looking through the screen at someone looking through a screen through someone looking at a screen. That is really creepy. That is so creepy. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, that was my general feeling. I really love it. So I wanted to incorporate something big in the lounge, and it was perfect as well because I had the space for it. But it did mean that I had to have the dining room a little bit more private than I probably would have wanted it. But you know, it kind of works. I wasn't really sure what to put in there, so I was thinking about a DJ table, and I thought, no, that is a really strange thing to put in a house like this. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe just something a bit simple, for the dining room, something a bit darker, and it could be private, like maybe it could work being private, I don't know, but that's what I was thinking. So I was experimenting, I was putting in a lot of different things, I was trying out those brand new colours. I really love them though. I think my favourites have got to be the pink ones because I just love pink. In fact, pink's one of my favourite colours, so I did incorporate pink a lot in this build. But I was just putting some general things on the walls, and I kind of wanted this to really show the people that haven't got the stuff pack yet, you know, what's actually in it. Because I thought that would be a good idea, you know, for the people that haven't got it so far. Of course, there are reviews on it if you want to go and see them, but you know, I just kind of thought you can actually see me building with everything, every single object that we get, or at least I think pretty much all the objects that we get I used in this house. If I didn't use any, then let me know and I'll use them for next time. But I did put that little table there. I was trying to put some things on it, but they're very, very difficult to put on that table. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to put those awards on, and it took me an unnecessary amount of time to do that, to be honest. I think that it's a very thin table, so it's probably difficult to fit absolutely everything on it. But I was just going around the dining room. I was changing some of the colours of the walls because I do that in this build. I just kind of thought that some of the colours of the rooms needed feature walls, so I did that in a lot of the rooms. I did go and change some of the things. I put a lot of club things in as well, so you'll probably notice that there's a lot of club artifacts throughout the build, like flags. I put in a lot of banners to do with the paragons, just because I thought that that was, you know, a really girly club to be in. And in fact, you know, if I was in The Sims 4, I would actually want to be in the paragons, I think I would. Or the renegades. It would be one extreme to the other for me, so it wouldn't be really in between that. And I just kind of thought, you know, maybe Sash will be the same, maybe because it's this build that's inspired by her, maybe I'd have some paragon banners. You know, maybe it would look pretty cool. So that's what I was thinking. This was a study. I wanted to go for blue in here because I wanted to break it up a little bit. I didn't want to go for another purple room because I'd just completely outworn the colour purple at this point, and I just thought, no, I want to go for a simplistic colour, maybe some purple or pink items around the room, maybe hung up on the walls. But apart from that, I definitely wanted to kind of veer away from another pink or purple room, so that's what I did. I was experimenting a lot though, and I love that tapestry on the wall. It's gorgeous. I think that it's a cross-stitching tapestry, but I'm not exactly sure. I used to do cross-stitching when I was really young, and I used to love it, so kind of brought back some memories just looking at that. And of course, I think for the most of us, we've all watched Brave, so if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about cross-stitching, I'm talking about a tapestry just like that. And it's strange now because every single time I hear the word tapestry, I think of it in a Scottish accent. It's crazy, isn't it? But that's what I was thinking. So anyway, this is the bathroom. The bathroom was humongous, and I was thinking about putting 2 sinks in, and then I thought, no, that is just over the top. So I actually took one of those sinks out and I put some more things in the bathroom. But I think for a room like this, I think that big bathrooms definitely give that kind of grand feel of a house. And because it's a big house anyway, I definitely didn't want to scrimp out on the bathrooms and just kind of put really tiny ones in or anything. So I put humongous bathrooms in. And I did put a little place that makes the shower a little bit more private. I don't exactly know why, but I just think it's quite a nice feature. And it's quite quaint looking. I don't know. I just kind of liked it, and it reminded me of a cottage somewhere. I don't know, that's what I was thinking. So I put some towels in and things like that just to give the appearance of a bathroom, really. So that, you know, it's kind of practical, because I struggle actually with having my towels on the wall, because after my fiance uses the bathrooms, they always end up on the floor. So sometimes it's quite nice having a bathroom like this with everything hanging up and looking pretty neat. So that is what I thought. I also just put some bricks around it because I really did want something like that there. This in here was the study room, I think. No, it wasn't. This was the place that I couldn't think of what to do with it, because I was thinking, well, I've already had a study, I've already had a lounge, a dining room, I'm gonna do the kitchen next. So I thought to myself, well, electronics, because I honestly think that, you know, YouTube is very technological. It actually took me a very long time to really work out what on earth was going on with YouTube. So I think for somebody that is big on electronics and things, because I think you kind of have to be big on electronics to do YouTube videos and things, because you have to know all about, you know, programs and stuff. I mean, I don't know, that's what I was just thinking. So I think, you know, TVs are something that maybe people that are on YouTube would have in their houses. So, you know, this is what I've just put in because I thought I love TVs. I really do. I love big plasma screen TVs. There is just nothing better. So I thought, you know, for this build, I would put 2 TV rooms in, which would mean that the lounge area, you know, it would have the humongous TV in there, and then you could have the smaller TV in here, which would just be from the normal TV, and then you could have film nights in the other. So just depends on what you want, really, but that was just my general opinion of this area. So I was trying to find a good way that I could put things next to the fireplace and not make it look too full. So I just put one of those little decorations just to the side of it, but I do think that looks nice. I also put some things for having a party in this room because I just think it would just be a wonderful party house. I really do. I think it would be a really girly house. And even if you didn't want this as a house, you could actually have this as a clubhouse. You could have this as an open area where your Sims, like let's say you play with the Paragons, you could actually have the Paragons having this as their club hangout, and it would be a place where they'd sleep, and it could be a little bit like a sorority house, which would be a really interesting idea. So if you do have that in your game, then let me know because I'd love to hear things like that or what you do with the house after you download it. And it is on the gallery, of course, if you're wondering. I'm so sorry, I need to mention this, but my Sims 4 gallery creations always gets uploaded to the Sims 4 gallery maybe between the first and second video. So usually just before I'm going to do the second video, then I'll have done the interior, so I'll upload it onto Sims 4 gallery. But before I've done the interior, I won't upload it because I never like to have my unfinished creations on the Sims 4 gallery. I don't know, but of course if you want that, I mean if you would actually prefer if I didn't decorate the interior, then let me know in the comments because that could be something that I'd think about for some of my future creations if you want to decorate them yourselves. But anyway, this was the kitchen. Now the kitchen was way too big to handle. I am not even kidding. This room was humongous. I don't know how I even found the right items to put here because honestly, I was super struggling with this. I was thinking to myself, I've got everything that you could possibly need in a kitchen. I mean, what else could a Sim use in here? And I was just filling it up. I was just putting some general items around and I was having a lot of fun actually. But it was a humongous room. It was really, really big. And I was thinking, you know, maybe some decorations, maybe some different film items, because we actually did get a free update, I think about a couple of days ago, maybe a bit more than that now, but we did, and we got some new items with it. So if you're wondering where those strange posters came from, that is where, or at least I think it is, to my knowledge anyway. But this was the upstairs. The upstairs was pretty girly, just like the downstairs. I used a lot of similar items. I tried to use some of those really big doors up here as well because I just absolutely love those. I just think it gives a really, really amazing look to the house, and I will definitely be using those doors again in the future. In fact, I do actually want to create a bohemian looking house, or like an indie kind of house. I don't know, something that has been decorated by students or something like that. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I put in those lights because I absolutely adore them. I know that they're pretty much as long as the actual walls themselves, and they're very dangly, but I do like them. I really, really do. I think they give an amazing effect to all the rooms. So I did use a lot of them up here. I tried to mix them with those stars as well because the stars are a little bit shorter than them, but I still like them. So that's what I did. I put a little staircase there and I put some of the fencing around it. The fencing is actually, I think, like the Gothic fencing that we were supposed to get for Winterberg, but it's actually an outdoor fencing, but I used it anyway. Why not, you know? And I was just putting in some beautiful curtains. I thought these curtains would go really nicely. I did actually go back and I just slightly changed the positioning of each curtain in the house after the video, because I didn't want any curtains to be over the windows. I should have probably left it in, but I didn't, unfortunately. But it was literally just when I went round and I just changed all the curtains to a slightly different place. But it wasn't anything noticeable. You wouldn't really notice it. It's just so that the gallery photo would look nice and the windows would look uncovered, because it was looking like you couldn't see any reflections through them. So I thought I'd change it. So this was the part where I was just adding some decorations to the hallway. The hallway was pretty big though, but I like the size of it. I think that it's quite a nice size and it's quite a nice place for whoever's using the house to just kind of come up and sit up here and make the most of it. I thought that it was quite nice to have something decorative in the hallway. And I don't usually have upstairs hallways or upstairs lounges. I don't think, anyway. I mean, usually I just have corridors or something that are quite small, so I guess it was quite a nice open space to use. But this was the main bedroom, so the main bedroom is super, super girly. But I thought that that bed just looked too formal. It looked like it belonged in a mansion or something, and this definitely isn't a mansion. It's not supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a big home, really. It's not supposed to be like anything too small or too big. It's just supposed to be like a dream home, basically. So it's not a mansion, and I just thought, you know, for that bed to be in there, it just looked crazy. So I just thought I'd take it out and I put in a more modern one. I thought the modern one went pretty well with this room. I don't like using grey actually, but I do actually think that grey went with this room pretty nicely, so I was happy with that. Again, with the curtains, I accidentally covered the windows again, but I'm hoping that I remember not to do that next time. I was also thinking about changing the wallpaperings, and I thought, you know, put a stone in here. I actually quite like it. It looks like it's been painted from the outside anyway, so I don't think it's a big deal that that's there, and I think it went with the bed. This was a room in here. I thought about having this as the dog's room or a guest's room. Like, I am absolutely not sure. I mean, I have no idea, but I would love to have Sims 4 pets, you know, at some point. And I think if I do, or like, you know, if we all do, rather, not just me, but if we do have that opportunity at some point, you know, the Sims 4 do actually give us a Sims 4 Pets edition, then yeah, I will probably come back to this house and I will add a dog bed in somewhere, because I know, being a dog owner myself, how important animals are, and I definitely don't see my dog as a dog. I see him as a baby. In fact, it kind of hurts me to even call him a dog. And when people say about a dog, I'm like, excuse me, are you talking about my baby? So, you know, it's a bit strange, and I probably will at some point. I'll probably come back to that. And the same with cats too. I had a cat. I still have a cat, but he just lives with my parents. So he's pretty old now, but he's gorgeous. I've got a white Persian cat, or at least my parents have. And I was exactly the same with him, but it's really strange to see the different behaviours between cats and dogs. It's a really strange jump, and I wonder if anyone else has done it. I mean, because I went from a jump of having a cat and then I had a dog, and it was just a completely different experience, you know, because cats are so independent and dogs are very not independent whatsoever. They're very loyal though, and it's interesting. But then again, I've known people that have made the jump between having a dog and then having a cat, so I guess it's different for them as well. It's just a strange thing to get used to, but I love my dog so much, and he's nearly 2. He's going to be 2 in April, so he's getting pretty old now. But anyway, this room was another guest room or something. I mean, I did want to include more bedrooms here. I know that some of the suggestions definitely were kind of leaning to against having just one bedroom, but I thought about it and I thought no, because I mean, realistically, who's going to play with one sim in this house? This is a humongous house to use. I think mostly whilst I was building this, I did struggle thinking about what I could put in these rooms if I hadn't have had bedrooms in them, because I'd already had, you know, lots of different hobby items in this house, and it was a bit of a struggle to find everything. So I am sorry if you weren't keen on the idea of having 3 bedrooms, but you know, you can always change it and put something else in if you want to. It's completely up to you. But this is one of my favourite rooms in here. So this was a gym / hobby room. This was a place for gaming, and you could play some video games in here, which I really like the idea of. I actually want to make an arcade in The Sims 4, but I don't know if we have enough arcade items. I've got to have a proper look at it, but I think that it's such an amazing thing to have in your game, and I just love watching The Sims play on that arcade machine. I just think it's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, maybe I will at some point. But I've got lots and lots of ideas for communal builds that are going to be coming up on my channel in the future. So if you like that kind of thing, then let me know what sort of communal build you'd like to see, because I've got a lot of plans. I have a serious amount of plans coming up for my channel. So anyway, this was the room pretty much polished off. I was just trying to find a mat to put those gym equipment things on. I love having the mirror just by the gym equipment things, because I don't know about anybody else, but I just felt like that wall was looking super plain without anything there. I didn't want to put a picture behind it because that would have just felt strange too, so I thought a mirror just went pretty nicely there. I then just put some odd things around the room, like a little place to sit, a little chest of drawers, and I completely forgot to say that there is a locker in this room. So yes, I did put one of those in. Of course, if you love the new closets that we get with the Sims Will Get Together, then there is one of those in that room. If you like that, then yeah, it's pretty good. But I did use a lot of those humongous mirrors. I've got to say they're probably my favourite mirrors in the whole of The Sims 4 at the moment. I just really like them. So I try and use as many as I can of them as possible. This was another humongous bathroom. That's one of my favourite things about this house, is that I have actually included really big bathrooms for it, because I don't usually do that. In fact, in my other builds, the bathrooms are pretty tiny. So I think it's quite nice to have a bit of a change, and that's what I was thinking here. I just put some things on the walls, like different pictures and different items like that. I was super keen on the posters that we got with the cool kitchen stuff pack. I really like those. I only figured out recently that they come in different colours and they come in completely different patterns. So I think it went pretty nicely with the new stuff pack that we get, because I think it kind of complements it, because they're both really bright, strange colours. I mean, in general, for the cool kitchen stuff pack posters that we got with it. So yeah, this was a bathroom pretty much finished off as well. I was trying to decide whether I'd go for an orange room or a pink room, but in the end I went for a pink room. So that is the end of the build. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in future builds. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.